part of that you would hope. That conversation, whether or not we're on the brink of World War III or we are trying to put pressure to release hostages, always comes back to Iran. Yes. And so we need to discuss the role of Iran, who is now warning through the UN, sent a message through the UN that if Israel invades Gaza, quote, Iran's foreign minister stressed that Iran has its red lines. He said that if the Israeli military operation continues, and especially if Israel follows through on its promise of a ground offensive in Gaza, Iran will have to respond, according to sources. And then that is why the suspicion is, or that's the suggestion of why we've positioned aircraft carriers in the Mediterranean.
Interestingly, the Biden administration is saying, don't worry, Iran is not participating in this war. I have no idea how they are so certain of that, given everything that we know so far. But here's this video.
In this moment, we don't have anything that shows us that Iran was directly involved in this attack and in planning it or in carrying out.
It's not like the Iranians were ever going to be able to get all $6 billion or even $1 billion at a time. The idea would be it would be allocated in very small chunks. So the idea that even if they had started to draw on that fund, that it would be able to fund Hamas is just not true.
We don't have specific information that ties Iran to this attack.
We have not seen any evidence, specific evidence, that Iran was directly involved with these specific sets of attacks.
This is astounding to me, these apologists, because it's not the $6 billion. It is the sanctions that they have lifted and have enriched Iran, by the way, to the tune of, some say $40, $50 billion. They're selling oil to the Chinese. Every indication is that they're involved, but the Biden administration is so committed to this deal with Iran that was started under the Obama administration that they revived when Biden got into office. And this is really what's playing behind it. We're going to have a clip right now from, I'd like to just get to John Radcliffe if we could, because he believes that, we talked earlier on the couch about intelligence failures. He believes that that relationship with Iran, some of the infiltration of Iran into our own intelligence may have had something to do with that. Listen.
Well, clearly there was an intelligence failure, both by Israel and by the United States. Both governments have admitted, an element of surprise to all of that. I think that, one of the things that may contribute to that is the fact that, as you've talked about, Larry, the United States and Israel, for the first time, there's been daylight between our countries because of the approach that this administration has taken in courting Iran, in begging Iran, pleading with Iran, enriching Iran. And, that has filtered down into the relationship between our intelligence communities. And, I hope that hasn't contributed to, a lack of sharing important intelligence. But it's very clearly something that is in play.
It's also Hamas is not hiding from the connection to Iran, and neither is Iran. I mean, they held a meeting yesterday in Qatar. The head of Hamas, along with a top official from Iran, publicly embracing each other. So at this point, Iran is owning that aspect of it. They're threatening an escalation because they've seen appeasement from the United States of America. For whatever reason, the soft pro-Iranian approach has been the default of this administration. In contrast that with bombs being dropped on the head of Qasem Soleimani, which everyone else said was a reckless move by Donald Trump. But it sent a very strong signal to Iran of where we stood. And now we've got aircraft carrier groups in the Mediterranean, which we would threaten to use, but we really don't want to, which makes it the worst of all scenarios because Iran has a lot of leverage.
Well, this cannot, I think, be separated from what is a major story receiving very little coverage. And that is the fact that 3 Iranian diplomats, I believe it was, who were working for a Biden administration.
Yes.
What was he? The ambassador?
They were.
He's an Iranian. He's an American envoy to Iran. His name's Rob Malley.
Yes.
Okay. He has been expelled from the Biden administration. This happened not long ago.
But only after it was uncovered, correct?
Only after it was uncovered. He was expelled from the Biden administration, had his security clearances revoked, and these 3 Iranians have been essentially, basically now accused of espionage. So inside the Biden administration, there is an espionage scandal connected to Iran, and it's getting No coverage.
Right.
No coverage. Ted Cruz was on Life, Liberty, and Levin, and he laid out some of the details.
Rob Malley's been fired. His security clearance has been revoked. We don't know why, but he did something so egregious that even this White House revoked his security clearance. What we do know is that Rob Malley brought in 3 senior advisors, all of whom were Iranian operatives. They were spies. They were recruited by the Iranian government. Those 3 Iranian operatives were helping lead the Biden administration's policy on Iran, and one of them remains a chief of staff in a senior position in the Department of Defense, presumably with her security clearances still in place. It is shocking. And you know what? Senate Foreign Relations Committee hasn't held a single hearing on Iranian spies directing our Iranian policy while we're flooding billions of dollars that is funding Hamas while they're murdering over 1,200 Israelis. It is disgraceful, and any Democrat who wants to stop it needs to stand up and say, cut off the money and get rid of the Iranian spies.
Amazing.
Incredible
Imagine
story.
Iran hiring Americans to direct their policy toward America.
It's crazy.
You know what I mean? It's crazy that we would allow such a thing.
But you can see why the Biden administration now is saying, well, we don't know if Iran's involved, because the Biden administration has a lot of culpability in what is happening right now.